Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Wyatt and today I'll be teaching you about while loops on Roblox. Okay, so all a while loop is an easy way for us to run code when a condition is true. So an example of when we'd use a while loop is if we were to say when the player is jumping we want to print hello, we would use a while loop and then it would print hello every millisecond when a player is jumping. It'd print hello a bunch of times when the player is jumping. So I'm just going to show you, I know that might sound a little bit confusing, so I'm just going to show you exactly how we're going to write a while loop. So I'm going to create a new script under server script service, but this could be a local script if you wanted, it can be any type of script. And I'm just going to delete the print hello world, and we have three words that will actually help us, or two keywords and then a condition in the middle for a while loop. So what we say is while, and then our condition goes here. So if we wanted to say if jumping equals true, so in here we say jumping equals true, or if we wanted to say n is greater than 1, any type of condition, that would be the second keyword right here. And then we'll say do, so while the condition, do, and if we press enter, it'll end it off. It's just like an if statement. We have code inside of this body and then it ends it off. So inside of here, we can run whatever code we want while the condition is true. So if I wanted to say print hello world, I could say part.brickcolor, I could change code, I could do anything I want inside of this while loop. So while condition equals true, we could say maybe let's create a new variable up top, and I'm just going to say variable or local variable equals true, and then we can say while variable equals true, do. So it's just like an if statement, because you guys know how we would say if variable is equal to true, then basically replace the if with while and replace the then with do, and that gives you a while loop. So we put the condition in here. So if while variable is equal to true, print hello world. Now most people would think, okay, yeah, that's our while loop, we're done, but actually we're not finished yet. Because it tries to run this so many times, it repeatedly runs it. It's like a for loop that runs like 100,000 times. It runs forever, right? While the condition is true. This is going to overload Studio and it's going to crash if we don't put a wait inside of here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to create a new line before we run our code, and we're just going to type wait, just like that. And this is going to throttle it so it's not going to run too many times and crash our Studio. So as you'll see, if we go into the game, and we look into the output, it's exactly what I was talking about. It's going to print hello world like 50 times. It's going to print it as many times as it actually can in a given second, right? But maybe if we set variable to false, right, because we're checking if that condition is equal to true. So if we run the game again while the variable is equal to false, it's just going to skip over the loop. It's not even going to run the code inside at all. So this is one example of a while loop and what we can use for it. But another example that I like to show is if you just want to run code all the time regardless of a condition. Now it technically still is a condition, but I like to just use this even when I'm just trying to run code all the time. So what I'll do is I'll delete all that code and I'll create a new while loop. So I'll say while, and then this time instead of saying the condition, I'm just going to say true. And this means always. While true, true is always equal to true. So while true, do. And this is always going to run code no matter what. I mean, unless the script is disabled, this will run code in your game. So we can do the same thing, print hello world. And again, we still need to have that wait up top because it's still not going to throttle itself. We need to tell it like to wait just so that it doesn't crash Studio. And if we go in, regardless of any conditions or any variables, right, in our script, it's just going to run hello. It's going to print hello. Now this is one way to do it, right, with the while true and you have the wait, but because it actually, so if we think about it, let's just make a new function. So I'm just going to say local function test, and in here I'm going to print hello, and then I'm just going to return true. Well, what we can do is we can say test, we can call the function as our condition. We can say while test do print. Actually, we don't even have to say print hello because it prints it inside of that function. And what it's doing is, so it's checking what it returns. It's checking what that function returns. And if it returns true, then it's going into this while loop. But the only way it's able to check if that function is true is by actually running the function and calling the function. So that's going to run the code that's in here. So if we run the game again, you'll be able to see it's going to print. Actually, I made a mistake that I was just talking about earlier. Studio's crashed because I didn't put a wait inside of there. We have to put a wait. See, it just printed hello a bunch of times, but we have to put a wait inside of there or else Studio's going to crash, as you just saw. So while tests do, and I'm just going to put a wait right there. And that's actually going to make it so we can run our game again and it's not going to throttle us. So just like that, hello, and it's going to print hello a bunch of times because it's calling that function. Now, we can take this when we use it to our advantage, rather than saying while true do, and then put a wait and then say print hello world. Because it actually calls the function, right, we can say while wait do. And it's going to call the wait function, so it's going to wait, and then it's going to print hello world. So this actually makes it so we don't even have to write as much code. So if you have a while loop that's always going to be running regardless of a condition, you can just put wait there rather than putting the wait inside. It's much more efficient and you don't have to write as much code to do it. The final thing that I'd like to show you about while loops is break. And all break does is it stops the loop from running. So I'm just going to delete this loop and I'm going to create a new one. So while true do, and in here, of course, I'm going to put my wait. And then what we're going to do is I'm just going to create a new variable up top called local number, and I'm just going to set it to 0. And what I'm going to do is inside of this while loop, I'm going to say number equals, or we'll put the wait up top, and then we'll say number equals number plus 1. Now, I only want this loop to run while the number is maybe less than 50. And I could just say while number is less than 50, but I want to show you in this example another way to stop the loop when that number is greater than 50. So I'll say number equals number plus 1, and then I'll say if number is greater than, I'll say greater than or equal to 50, then what we're going to do, so we need a way to stop this loop. We need to break out of the loop. And I just said the word break. That's exactly what we're going to use to get out of this loop. We're going to break out by saying break, just like that, and it's going to stop the loop. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to put a print, and I'm going to print number, just so that we can see it. It's only going to go up to 50, or it's only going to go up to 49. But if we look in the output right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 50, right? And it stopped. It broke out of the loop. So now the loop isn't running anymore because of that break that we have on line 8. So while loops are really important if you're creating a game and you need to run code while a condition is true. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you learned something new today about scripting on Roblox, and I'll see you guys later.